Alright guys, so tonight we're just going to make a video on some of the biggest pocket folders that I actually own. I started carrying big pocket folders that were capable of doing some heavy duty work because I live out in the middle of nowhere and I actually have a ton of actually wisteria and English ivy, and I never know when I'm going to have to actually chop something, and having sort of a mini machete by your side actually works quite well. So the first one we're going to look at, and the first one I tried here, is actually the CJRB Tigris. And this is actually a AR-RPM 9 powder steel. It's actually not a bad little flipper here. Do carry pocket clip. Overall open, let's see, we are not quite 9 inches here. And this one's okay. It actually reminds me basically of the CRJB's version of a knife we'll get to in a little while. And it's just probably the least robust of any that we're looking at here. Not terrible, fairly affordable. I guess you could argue that the handle in G10 here is stylish, but not my favorite of these. So moving on, we're going to go with the most robust one here, and this is the Artisan Tactical Knife Proposal, or Prospect rather, or the 1520p, and this one's actually in D2. This one is a beast of a knife. So it actually has this nice little crossbar here that's removable. So you open it, it's got a big old Wharncliffe blade. It is thick, 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 thick. It feels robust in your hand. After you open it, you can again put this little crossbar in here and screw it in, and it's basically a fixed blade at that point. It's not going anywhere. You got decent amount of cutting surface here. It is that Wharncliffe style, so you don't have a whole lot of mass there. Most of the mass is in the handle actually. Right at 9 inches, about the same size as the other one. Pocket clip actually doesn't bother you nearly as much as the other one. You can see, again, I've got big old monster hands and the handle fits well in my hand. So this one, really heavy for its size also. Not bad, liner lock, does the job, not my favorite. So the single largest one from a standpoint of length here is actually this one, and this is actually a cold steel Luzon. So it's flipper, huge knife as you can see, well over, we're probably looking at, I don't know, about 13 inches when we really look at it here. Actually has a liner lock, and then it has this an additional slide up here that keeps you from actually accidentally closing on yourself, even if the liner lock gets pushed in a little bit somehow. This is not great steel. It's actually 18 CR30 MOV here. This one actually I've beaten on. Works, it holds up, I can tell you that definitely. And it, again, huge handle, and actually you've got a lot of distance here. You got a lot of reach if you choke back on the handle here. Not exactly a deep carry pocket clip, but it's also, what, somewhere around 8 inches long, just a baseline. Yeah, pretty close to that. So it's not like exactly you're trying to conceal this one anyway. Not bad for what it does. It's relatively inexpensive as well. I carry this one a fair amount. Then we're going to move on to something that actually unfortunately isn't made anymore. And this one's just a little smaller than the rest of them, but it gets the job done. This is actually a Civivi called the Naja that's not made anymore. This one I was actually shocked to find out was actually, again, 9CR18 MOV. I was not expecting that it actually holds an edge like a much better steel here. This one feels great in your hand actually, and I carry this one actually a fair amount just at baseline anyway, even if I'm not going to be doing stuff in the arm. Do carry clip. Kind of like little gold liners in this, and again it's liner lock. Overall we are looking at open a little bit shorter than the others, but not too bad, 8.5-ish. Not as robust as the others, but still does a nice job. And then we get to my pick. This is, of course, the Kizer Sheepdog XL. So this is a flipper, fairly deep carry clip. When you open it up, there is no doubt as to how robust this knife is. Thick, thick liner, thick, thick blade. Heavy, but not as heavy as the Artisan. Has the best feeling handle of all these. And this is the one that honestly I think, and I'm not sure the order when they came out then, but I think this is the one that the CRJB is trying to emulate here if you look at it. And frankly, it's a poor copy. The Kizer is by far my choice here. As you can see, I've beaten the crap out of them. It's still going well. This is actually 154 cm steel, which is, again, my favorite premium slash budget steel, I guess is what you could call it. But this one, I can't recommend enough. It'll take a licking to keep on ticking. It feels good in your hand, and actually you got a lot of cutting power with it. So of all the ones that I carry here, all these big knives, that's my favorite one. Comes in at 9.5 inches. It's actually just over 9 inches, but you know it's there. All right, thanks for watching tonight.